and welcome back to your irregular Latvian lesson from Central Park,
New York!
Learning Latvian can seem so overwhelming, especially when you consider that according to our online dictionary, Thesaurus, there are at least 353,000 words to learn. Fortunately, not all of these are pure 100% Latvian. Like any other normal language, we like to borrow from those around us or who colonize us. What if I told you that there's a word that is not only the same in English, but that you can also use in pretty much any situation in Latvian? Well, if you were anything other than Latvian, you'd say great, genial, or wunderbar. But a Latvian would say Normāli. Let's go. What is normal? According to the dictionary, it means conforming to a standard type or regular pattern. But as you would have guessed by now, for Latvians, it means so much more. But before we dissect what normal means for Latvians, let's get the most common use of normal out of the way. If you ask an English person, "How are you today?" and they are fine, they will say fine. But a Latvian would say Normāli, which means that nothing out of the ordinary or worth reporting has happened. Similarly, if somebody asks you how did you like a film or an event you went to, and you say Normāli, you, my friend, are more Latvian than beer and cumin seed cheese on a Līgo night. So, normal is like the default state for Latvians. If something's not awful, it's normal. If your friend wants to introduce you to Ali, who is a Normāls, it's like an official endorsement that Ali is not a creep and might be actually someone you could get along with. But if, for example, a movie or a person exceeded your expectations, you'd think that since Normāli means okay, you should say something like forši or labi, which means cool or good. But no, because Latvians never let themselves have too high expectations due to generational trauma of being repressed and disappointed, you have to accentuate that it was in fact nenormāli forši, unnormally cool. But as promised, normāli can also have other, less straightforward meanings. If you've watched my videos a bit, you'd know that Latvians get a lot of pleasure from judging others and feeling a bit better than everybody else. That's why the word normāli is so beloved. It lets us point out everything that is not normāli, and this time it's not a good thing. If anybody acts in a way that is deemed inappropriate for polite society, we'd call out nenormāls, vai? What are you, not normal? Or in a situation where the offender has already fled the scene, like if somebody cuts in front of you while driving, we would let out a Normāli. The Latvian in this situation is clearly upset and wants to make it known to their bystanders or friends, but also they are no longer in any real danger of actually confronting the person. But if you want to repress some frustration in the office, for example, when somebody asks you to replace them and then actually gives you work to do while they're gone, you could say to yourself, "Nē, nu normāli vispār." Well, this is just normal, isn't it? If we say that something nav īsti normāli is not really normal, we are gently letting somebody we care about know that they shouldn't be putting up with this type of mistreatment or bad behavior from someone. Or if we're more passive-aggressive about showing our concern, so to also pass a little judgment on our friend as we say this, the way he just spoke to you, tas tā normāli? Is it normal? Is it considered normal that he spoke to you that way? Because I don't think it's normal, and frankly, if you do, then maybe you are part of the problem. If you're somebody who does not want to engage in actual conversation about why you have certain ideas that you impose on others, like if you're a woman that just does not want to go into the details of her mild shopping addiction, you might just opt screeching to your husband, "Tas ir tikai normāli." It is only normal for me to spend all of mine and your money in New York shopping because that's what everybody does, and stop judging me. And then if you go on to complain about it to your girlfriend and say something like, "I don't actually want your opinion, I just want you to validate my feelings," you'd finish your story about the very strict and financially responsible husband with something like, "Normāli, ne?" Which, although literally means normal, right, actually means this is completely unacceptable. Am I right or am I right? If you use normāli about something you did, like for example, "Normāli iepirkāmies," you're saying that you shopped a lot, a lot, a lot. To show somebody that they're blowing an issue way out of proportion or in some way acting unreasonable, you can say, "Nu viss ir normāli, nomierinies. Everything is normal, calm down." In the same vein, to portray yourself as being more tough than the other person after a shared hardship, like walking
When are we having a break and sit?
a lot in New York City, you can say, "Normāli, nebija jau tik traki. It's normal, stop exaggerating.
I'm
It
extremely tired.
was not so bad." By the way, for those last two ones, if you want to sound like you've been texting in the early 2000s, you can also say normix. And finally, to show that your life has completely fallen apart, there's nothing like "nekas nav normāli." Nothing, absolutely nothing is normal. Un nu viss. Thank you for watching this irregular Latvian lesson. I hope that when you go on holiday, you are able to normāli atlaist. Literally, to let go normally, but actually to thoroughly relax and have a good time. As this video is brought to you from New York on my Patreon channel.
Take that. Take that in the chat. Yeah.
As this video is brought to you from New York City on my Patreon, I will be putting in a small clip of how our experience here in New York was. As you've seen, I'm here with Anna and Ali, but if you're impatient, follow me on Instagram because we post our everyday experience there as well. Thank you for supporting the channel, and for everyone else, I will see you soon, maybe. And the helicopter is here. Bye!